Oh, what's up, guys? Jake with Dan Tattoo. Could do another special little in-house video. You and I talk about things sometimes. This is one of those times. Just I get stuff coming up on my feed that I just want to talk about with you. And so far, well, we got a new interesting one today to talk about, and that is the vibe going on with Sig Sauer. It seems like to me, and maybe you guys are picking up on this too, but it seems like to me that Sig is trying to, I guess, not necessarily shift the narrative, but actually try to reframe and move past the issues they've been having with their P320. The reason why is because I started seeing popping up on my feed this new gun that's probably been in development by them for a couple of years at this point, but still, regardless, this new gun, the Sig Sauer P211 GTO. Now you'll see here that a lot of these guys are content creators I watch. Your feed may look a little differently when you search, but the Humble Marksman, the Honest Outlaw, QVO Tactical, amongst many other people, have started releasing their reviews, their first shots videos of the P211. Now here's where it gets interesting. This is almost something like we would expect to see from another company, Springfield Armory. If you guys recall, they've almost always done like a big embargo social media push that where all the videos released at the same time for their product. Like they did that for the Hellion, they did that for a number of different guns, the Prodigy. This is something that we've seen before. It's nothing new. Now, whether this was intentional or not for SIG, I'm not necessarily sure, but what I do know is they have been making a push to try to reach out to these different content creators ahead of time before the gun officially releases, just so they can get as many eyeballs on the screen, on the gun, to see how she does. Trademark. Chris, even in his review, Honest Outlaw, even stated that he's never received anything from SIG before until this particular gun, their 2011. And I think it really goes to show, it's kind of like a vibe check, that SIG is doing things like this for the first time that they've never done before. They're actually reaching out to content creators. Now, they did do that with Garand Thumb much earlier on with their SIG Spear when they're actually showing off the new caliber, that new cartridge that was like a dual metal, whatever you call it, cartridge for their new caliber coming out. But other than that, that was just like a one-off thing. We've not really seen them do that with anyone else, especially not like, I guess, not lesser known creators, not B tier creators, because these guys are definitely like top tier, but you get what I'm saying, like they only did that with one person for a very specific niche channel. And it seems like they're broadening their horizons a little bit. They're actually willing to work with more content creators rather than just ignoring them and making them eventually have to buy their own gun if they want to review this for their channel. So kind of interesting. I think they know they're in hot water. I think they know there have been so much backlash with the P320 that while this gun's been in the pipeline for probably a couple of years at least, they know that with the current circumstances, they have to sell this gun. And they're probably concerned with the fact that the P320 has done so bad lately with all the recent narratives going on that they're making the extra push to actually make sure people know that this gun is going to be safe, especially drop safe and holster safe. So kind of an interesting temperature check. I know it could all just be speculation. This could just be me thinking too much free time on my hands. This is what I'm thinking here, but it does intrigue me because this is a much different gun. It is a hammer-fired gun. It has a grip safety, manual safety, amongst other things. And this is a gun that I think, from what I can tell, is going to be a very good 2011. And well, they got to do something with those P320 mags, so it does take the SIG P320 mags. Obviously, I'm a smaller guy, a smaller creator. Definitely not a smaller guy, but smaller content creator. So obviously, they never reached out to me. I don't want to ever have that expectation. So what are your thoughts about this? This gun may not even be in the same wheelhouse as people that own a P320, which was recently popular until everything that's happened, but this gun's like $2,000, so it may not even appeal to the same audience. What do you guys think? Do you think that they're maybe trying to slightly shift the vibe a little bit? I know they just went after that Oregon Police Academy or Training Center, whatever it's called, trying to sue the pants off of them, apparently, just like they did with Washington State. So I don't think they've learned a lesson about that, but what are your thoughts on this? I'd love to hear from you guys. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. We will see you next time.